So with high porosity hair, your hair can break because of the properties of cloves, the astringency of cloves. With low porosity hair, your hair can break for two reasons when you use clove water. Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming by. In today's video, we are going to discuss clove water and hair breakage in relation to hair porosity. So many of us have used clove water on our hair and it has made some people's hair to grow and to thrive without any problems at all. Other people have reported hair dryness and breakage. I am one of those people who use clove water on my hair every day, and I noticed that my hair was breaking. But what interested me most was the fact that my hair broke at the back section, while the front section of my hair was thriving and flourishing without any problem. Before I started using clove water on my hair, the front and back section of my hair had equal length. So I decided to find out more about the things I was putting on my hair, and I realized that clove was a problem. The way I used it was a problem, and my hair porosity was a problem. So how is clove a problem? I found out that the active ingredient in clove, which is eugenol, is an astringent. And what astringents do is they dry things out. They have the tendency of drying things out. Alcohol is another example of an astringent. I'm using alcohol here so that you can understand the severity of the component of clove, which is a strong astringent. So clove water has eugenol, which is a very strong astringent. That is what is in clove that is causing people's hair to dry and to eventually break. Clove has benefits, of course, which they help the hair to grow, but the problem is the way we use it. If we don't use it moderately, it can be very damaging for our hair. So that probably is what was causing my hair to dry and to eventually break. You might then be asking, why then does it break some people's hair and not others? The answer is with our hair porosity and the way we use clove. What is hair porosity? Hair porosity is the ability of our hair to absorb and to retain moisture. Simply put, it is how fast our hair can drink water or any moisture and for how long it can keep that moisture in the hair. Okay, so you can either have high porosity hair, medium porosity hair, or low porosity hair. If your hair can drink water fast, then you have high porosity hair. If it takes time to absorb the water, then you have medium porosity. And if you have to put an effort, you have to put so much effort to get your hair soaked, then you have low porosity hair. That is, you put water on your hair and you have to really work the water in. You have to really put so much effort to work the water into the hair. Then you have low porosity hair. Now that we have cleared all of that aside, what then has clove and hair porosity got to do with hair breakage? Irrespective of how porous your hair is, all hair types need moisture, and so we always have to keep the hair moisturized. If you have low porosity hair and you realize that your hair is breaking as you use clove water, it is probably because of moisture overload. Because you have low porosity hair, you might think that you always have to put moisture on your hair, like every now and then you have to keep pouring moisture on your hair because your hair is slow in taking in moisture. Say for example, you have a baby and the baby doesn't drink water fast, so every now and then you're there with a bottle of water telling the baby to have a sip baby, have a sip baby. It doesn't work that way for low porosity hair. This is because low porosity hair takes in moisture gradually. It slowly takes in moisture, but it retains the moisture much longer than high porosity hair. So it's like with low porosity hair, your hair follicles have really tiny holes on them. So moisture struggles to get in and it also struggles to go out. So when it struggles and finally gets into your hair, it stays there for a very long time, and it stays there for a very long time before it can evaporate. So you don't have to go in with clove water on your hair every day. The one you added yesterday hasn't gone out, then the next day you put more water. So you will eventually have moisture overload if you continue pouring in clove water on your hair every day. So what you should do is use the clove water sparingly. You can use it like twice in a week, maximum 3 times a week. It's going to you then see the benefit, and your hair will not break from moisture overload. The second reason for which low porosity hair can break with clove water is because of the components of clove, which we already mentioned earlier. Let's say you put clove water on your hair every day and you have low porosity hair. Aside the moisture overload, you continue to add this property, this astringent, this eugenol, which is a very strong astringent. You continue to pour it on your hair every day. It has a tendency to dry the hair and to eventually break the hair. You don't have to use it every day. So the problem with clove water and low porosity hair is the way you use it. You have to limit the way you use it. You don't have to use clove water on your hair every day if you have low porosity hair. First of all, it can lead to moisture overload. Secondly, the component of cloves can really break your hair if you continue pouring and putting more of it on your hair every day. So you have to limit how you use it. Those are the two things that can cause low porosity hair to break with clove water. So for people who are complaining that clove water dries their hair, you probably have low porosity hair. So you need to check it out. You need to know your hair porosity, so that you know what is causing your hair to dry when you use clove water on your hair. You who have high porosity hair, you think that because your hair takes in moisture fast and sends out the moisture really fast, you have to continue putting more moisture on your hair all the time. Of course, that is very correct. Moisture obviously gets into your hair fast, and it also leaves your hair very fast. That is because the holes on your hair cuticles are big enough to gulp in moisture very fast, and also to let go of the moisture very fast. But it depends on the kind of moisture you're putting on your hair. It depends on the properties of the moisture you're putting on your hair. If you have high porosity hair and your hair breaks with clove water, it is obviously because of the astringency of cloves. You're putting that element on your hair every day, something that has the tendency of drying your hair. Then you continue to put it on your hair every now and then because your hair is losing moisture very often. Of course, it's going to dry your hair and it's eventually going to break the hair. No doubt about the fact that clove water will help your hair to grow real fast. But as it's helping your hair to grow, it will also break your hair that much. So the problem is with the way of usage. You can use it sparingly. You don't have to use it every day. For high porosity hair, just as low porosity hair, you should use clove water on your hair at most 3 times a week. That can be enough. When you put it every day, it can be very damaging for your hair. It will lead to split ends, dryness, and eventually breakage. Another thing is you need to focus the application of clove water on your scalp. In that way, you have optimal results with the clove water. I think it's important to mention that high porosity hair needs more protein than moisture. This is because when moisture gets into your hair, it needs the protein to seal in that moisture. So you have to, you might think that because moisture leaves as soon as it gets in, you have to keep adding moisture and not protein. No, I think you should tackle the problem from the root. If your hair had more protein, it will be able to retain moisture, and you will not have to put moisture on your hair every day. So high porosity hair will need you to do more protein treatments so that your hair can be able to retain moisture for some time. Another thing is you have to be aware of the moisture you put in your hair. Now look at clove water. It has things that can really destroy the hair, that can be damaging for the hair, and you continue to use that moisture on your hair every day, you're gradually damaging your hair. So with high porosity hair, your hair can break because of the properties of cloves, the astringency of cloves. With low porosity hair, your hair can break for two reasons when you use clove water: moisture overload and then the astringency of the cloves. For medium hair porosity type, I think it's safe for you to use clove water on your hair every day. This is because your hair already has a balance of protein and moisture, so it will mix those things up, and I don't think that the effect will be really dangerous as compared to low and high porosity hair types. So the people who say that clove water doesn't break their hair, I think it's because they have a normal or moderate porosity hair types. So when I found out all this information, I decided to do a porosity test. And when I did that, I realized that I have low porosity hair type at the back section of my hair, and the front section of my hair it's kind of moderate. So I kept using clove water at the back section of my hair every day, and that is what was damaging my hair. If you want to test the porosity of your hair, put water in a spray bottle and spray it on your hair. Observe how it reacts. If it takes in the water, if it absorbs the water real fast, then you have high porosity hair. If it takes time, then you have moderate porosity. And if the water just kind of slips on your hair and finds a road to travel down without getting in, and you kind of have to work it in, push it in with your hands, then you have low porosity hair. You have to do this on clean hair because you might have used oils and butters and other things that will probably alter the results of the test. So you have to do this when your hair is really clean. Another way of finding out about your porosity hair, the porosity of your hair, is by taking a strand of your hair which is clean. You can take it from a brush or a comb and put it in a cup of water. Observe it. If it sinks deep, like almost immediately it sinks deep, goes right under, then you have high porosity hair. If it settles at the middle of the cup, then you have medium porosity hair, and if it just floats at the top, then you have low porosity hair. Whether you have high porosity hair type, medium porosity hair type, or low porosity hair type, you have to limit how often you apply clove water on your hair. You have to use it moderately. Just remember that too much of anything good eventually becomes bad. I really hope you found value in this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. Why not leave a comment in the comment section below? Kindly subscribe to my channel if you have not yet done so. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye. Example of an astringent. An astringent. This ingredient is an astringent. Astringent.